About 3 days left until the new year, and probably like all of us, had too much straight over Christmas and just want to get out, get a bit of fresh air. Today I've come to a place called, I think it's called Kingmoor Nature Reserve. It's also known as Kingmoor Sidings, and to know if you can hear, there is a train, I can certainly hear across the other side there somewhere, literally right by the train tracks here. And all this area originally used to be part of the railway, and you can probably just see these bricks all round here in a nice circular part, and it carries on round here. And this particular piece here was originally a turntable. As you can see, it's fully overgrown now. I only just found this by chance on Google Maps. Like a lot of my things, I tend to look on Google Maps at the satellite images for what's around. I'll go through OpenStreetMaps to then see for possible footpaths and things like that. And I come across, see these rather wooded areas on the edge of Carlisle, and the trouble is a lot of these places you don't get any access to. But fortunately then, when I started seeing things like Nature Reserve, I thought there's a good chance there. So I did a little bit more research, and that's where I then came back to deciding to come here and have a look. This might not be the best time to visit here, so it's very dull today. Probably only got about another 3 hours before sunset, because the days are still quite short. And I'm just really looking around for the part of things, maybe the small things, to either get the macro lens out or just a close-up shot or something. So it's more of a scouting mission to see what's about, to see if I can come back at another point to get some more pictures. I'll put the camera up over the fence here so you can see this is the railway line literally just opposite me that I'll be walking up along. Straight away come across this really massive fungi on this downed piece of silver birch, and then I spotted this much smaller one here, and there's another one on the top here. Now, those don't really appeal to me photographically wise at the moment, but it just goes to show, end of the year with the frosts and rain and everything we've had, that these have still survived out here. And this place is full of silver birch trees, and I've just come across this one which has obviously gone down in the wind, and you've got these massive fungi on here, and it's just interesting how this one has got all sort of like the mould and algae and everything gone on it, where these other three are still sort of like in pristine condition. And there's another fourth large one here, which is quite impressive of how big they are. And like I say, this time of year that they're still about, and I can see some more, in fact, on the branch that's fallen. And by the looks of the way that these are up, this tree has been down quite some time, because it's the base here, pointing the right way. I'm at the northeast end now, and it's interesting, you've got these fields just to the northeast side here, and I did wonder what all this plastic sheeting was for, but closer inspection of it, it's almost been put up like fencing. Why you would want clear plastic sheeting as fencing, I don't know, in that sort of field. Anybody any ideas, then please do let me know. But this end seems to be, certainly the northeast side, tends to be more like marshy land. There's a small pool of water just in here. There's this walkway which I'm going through at the moment. Haven't dared try to put my foot down anywhere on this side, so I'm just sticking to the path here, and it's all quite sort of dead at this time of year. And it would certainly be interesting to see what this looks like come through the different seasons, especially spring when the life starts coming on, and autumn when the life starts going off. The walkway just came to like a T-junction here, and this now goes all the way around in a large circle, This is supposedly the pond. It really doesn't look like much. Certainly doesn't see much water in there, which is quite surprising considering the amount of rain we've had over the last probably 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm guessing that these brown things here with the sort of like the white tops are possibly the end of things, like just don't seem thick enough for bulrushes on the stems, but maybe that sort of thing. Again, it'd be interesting to see what this looks like come spring and into the autumn again. There is a bench here, but you can see from the mud that where there's been a dog walk through there, it's actually quite thick mud on there, so probably not the best place to sit this time of year. The piece I've been walking around, which is just the other side of this field with the plastic in, that's Kingmoor sidings, which ran all the way along the edge of the railway line there, and the footpath just comes round up the side here, and we're out into the roadway here, and it's across the road there that's Kingmoor South Nature Reserve. So the area is split up, I think, into about 3 pieces. We've got Kingmoor sidings, Kingmoor South, and a little bit further north from here is Kingmoor North Nature Reserve. I've got to say, these woods are so different from the other side. It really looks like this might be more of a busier place in the summertime. There's proper footpaths running around here, and even this one, which runs right across the field here, open field, into more woodland on the far side there, which joins up with this, and the footpath comes around here. So I'm actually going to go across the field here because I'm just trying to do the whole lot in one big circle, trying to cover as much as possible. And there's still going to be lots I think I'm going to miss and need to come back to for sure. This is where I've just walked out onto that pathway, and you've got this sign here, and it's handy here seeing the map because even though it says Kingmoor sidings this way, I actually came in, I think, somewhere around here through the part of the woods here, and this is where I'm more or less on the footpath that's going across here. And there are various footpaths in here, one that runs up the side here, I think there's a couple that run down this side, and various around here, and it joins up in there as well. So there's an awful lot to see here, so I'm going to wander across and round properly like that sort of direction to go round, just so I can get a good idea of what the place looks like. But you can see certainly a lot of the wildlife and everything that you can see around here throughout the various times of the year. So this is another totally different part of the woods, and I'm just going to try and zoom my camera in here. Literally on the tree through there, there's a squirrel, grey squirrel that I've spotted. And so far it's all on this walkway. The footpath that I walked across the field was just through there, and you bared off into here, and there's quite a bit of wildlife in here. As I say, there's a squirrel there, seen a robin, there's some magpies about, blackbirds, obviously wood pigeons like we get everywhere, but there are various species in here, and I think this again, spring, autumn, could look quite amazing. There's a few sort of small birds flipping about in the trees as well. I'm walking up the side now, and the path has now come to this sort of concrete footway. This would be the open fields that you can walk across. Looks like they're doing an awful lot of planting in here as well. And this just carries up a little bit further. Should hopefully get back into the woods then, and then go across the top there and back out down the other side. Just walked up a little bit further and just come across this tree here. I'm not sure whether it's dead, but it's certainly pretty lifeless anyway. And I just like the image of that tree with all of this sort of dead, I suppose, undergrowth all in front of it. And just gone for my standard lens, shooting at about 35, 38mm I think it is. And I've gone for a crop of a square. So I've just kept these sort of like straight in on the right hand side here, and this curved one on the left here. It's not the best background on here for sky wise, so it's going to look a bit sort of dull. I may well convert this to a monotone. That's the fields there, so I'm now literally right at the very far end, at the north end of the nature reserve now. So I've literally walked all the way up the top there, and it's interesting because there are quite a diverse range of plants and all sorts in this nature reserve. There's a small stream running around there as well with a couple of little bridges, so you tend to get more plant space near water, and water is always a great thing because it attracts wildlife. I've just come up here, and first thing I'd spotted was these small trees with all the orange leaves, and I wanted to try and get one sort of pretty isolated, but I couldn't. The view that I really wanted was to also include this, what is, I'm guessing, an uprooted tree root, for some reason just been left here on its side. No sign of where it came from, so I'm guessing it's been dragged across from somewhere in the past, because it's especially close to this one. And I was looking originally from the picture from the other end, but I've decided on this side, and I've gone for my 16mm lens. It's got a really wide aperture on this, 2.8, so I have in actual fact tried a couple of images on here. Again, I've gone for the square format for the cropping. I just think it looks nicer, just keeping that tree in the background. I did try some low level shot, looking at low level to start with, but then I wasn't really getting the tree, and you're getting more sky and everything as well. So I've decided to bring the tripod up a bit. It's probably just over waist height, and just look down on this remains, getting that orange tree in the background, or those orange leaves in the background. And I've tried a couple of images, one at, first of all, at f8, so that hopefully everything is in focus, and then I also tried it on 2.8 so that this is in focus, and it just softens off at the back there. For me, this is the sort of areas I really like. You can see just through the trees here, that's the open field where I start off on the bottom there, walk through right the way up along the far side, and then back across the top here, and I'm now coming through this sort of like right hand side of the woodland before I get back to where I started from. And this, as I say, is the sort of thing I love. You've got these sort of ditches running around here, so at least it helps to attract wildlife and everything, having water about. There's in actual fact another ditch just the other side there as well, and I'm not sure if there's another one just the other side of the bank here. And I really like these sort of trees. You walk through here, it's very open, and you can literally walk whatever path you like. But so many of these trees have characters. I mean, there's so many sort of like bobbly, knurly bits on the trees, and I mean, especially the one over the other side there, it's absolutely covered in all these small pieces. And I found the odd tree where literally the base of the trunk is just full of bulges everywhere, how it's just formed through its lifetime. And it's one of those typical things for me, is that you see this place that it's just amazing to walk through and see, but how do you capture that on a camera to give you that same sort of feeling that you have when you walk through it? And that's what I really struggle with. So I've not got the camera out of here at the moment. It's almost like I need to concentrate on a small walkway with maybe a couple of three of the trees in it, and have some form of light shining through, which I'm certainly not going to get on a day like this. I've just walked all the way back to Kingmoor sidings and back around to where the pond is, and you can certainly see now on the front here I've actually got some proper bulrushes, which are amazingly this time of year still fully like they are sometimes in summer. Usually all these brown bits on the top just burst into sort of like a fluff ball, which is what spreads their seeds. So, and you can see they've got quite thick stems on there, So these things are something totally different, but you can see the water a bit more this side. Whether it's very deep in there or not, I don't know. It almost looks like there is an island in the middle, but it's very, very overgrown. It's not like your typical pond that you're going to go and see. So what have I got from today's trip? The first thing really was where to really find new places to scout. And that's where Google Maps came in with the satellite view. I could scroll through the various areas, look for what I was interested in, then go off and do the research to find out whether it's public accessible, and then what to find from there. The second thing really was, because I was treating this totally as a scouting trip, I literally left everything in my camera bag all the time. Tripod was attached to the camera bag, and it was only when I really wanted to take an image that I then took the camera bag off, got the kit out that I actually wanted to use, took the picture, and then put everything back again. Two things really good about that was that I only ever got my camera out when I really wanted to take an image. And the second thing was that I got the right kit out that I want to use. Now, often not when I've been going around a lot of the woods, especially recently, as I've been using the 100mm macro. So I will park up, I'll get the camera out, put the 100mm macro on the camera, put the camera on the tripod, and carry that around all attached to the tripod. And I'll then have everything in my rucksack should I need it, because often not I've wanted things like the LED lights to fill in for a lot of the macro shots. Often not I'd actually find that I would come across something I wanted to take an image with, and I would try and get it with the lens that I got on the camera, rather than taking the rucksack off and changing lenses over to the appropriate lens. Hopefully this video has been of interest to you. Certainly please do leave any comments below, and be interested to hear your thoughts on what's really happened in the video today and really the images. Thanks a lot for watching.